Hello, everyone. So we're here to do a little talk. Said that I would come on at 7:15 at 7:14. So hopefully everybody will have a chance to come on and ask any questions that they have. A big thing with this topic is it's very broad. So we can break it down into different segments. It's really helpful. So tonight we're talking about starting off with the physical body. So if you're hopping on, feel free to say hello. Let me know where you are from as well. I have a few things kind of set up here in my space. I have my affirmation cards by Louise Hay, How to Love Yourself. So I can't help but feel like there's a lot of heart chakra stuff coming up at this time. We're also going to set an intention that we get all the messages that we need in this talk. So, what I've been what I've been told is that I'm supposed to do talks in relation to helping people with tools and then doing readings so we can learn some stuff that's helpful for people that are just starting off. And then, of course, we can get some insight on what's going on with everyone. So, I'm going to start off with just setting an intention card. So, for people that are new to me, welcome. My name is Robin. I'd love to hear who's hopping on and again, where you are from. I really want to also, although I know that there's heart stuff coming up, I want to focus on the physical body a bit to start off because that seems really important for people in this moment. So I'm an intuitive. I've been working with energy for my whole life, but more so in the last, I'm going to say 15 to 19 years. And I actually started reading cards when I was 21, and now I'm 37. So, yeah, I guess 16. So as I breathe into the cards, let's see what comes through here. Okay. I'm also feeling a lot of stuff going on in the stomach as well. So heart and stomach, that tells me there's emotional energy. We do have a full moon coming up. So let's see what comes through for us. I also have a candle that I made here. It's very fiery. I put some roses from my wedding last year, just over a year ago. And I did some kind of like spell work in relation to relationships. So for some reason, I felt like bringing that into our space to represent the energy of love and the power of manifestation as well. So keep in mind that it's important to recognize, again, where your mindset is, where we are working on body, mind, spirit. Coming into this space, where are you physically? Feel free to share. Where are you mentally as well? I know for myself, I have been feeling this moon very strongly. And what I mean by that is I'm really feeling into other people's emotions extremely deeply. So, again, emotionally. But the fact that I'm aware of that, I'm seeing that as a positive. So, again, my mental clarity actually feels pretty good. Physically, I've been a little bit sick. And I do feel like I have a few things on the back burner. So I don't know why that's coming up. Maybe you relate to that. But let's see what our cards have to say. And we'll go into the Akashic Records and see what it is that we need to know in relation to body, mind, and spirit that will be helpful for us. It is helpful if you're coming on live and you have questions, if you want to connect to whatever it is. Do you need to work on body? Do you need to work on spirit? Where are you energetically? So the first card that we have is, I affirm that I am willing to release the causes and patterns in my consciousness that are creating any negative conditions in my life. Very much relative to full moon energy, wouldn't you say? And in terms of like becoming more aware of what it is that we need to release and let go of. If you're interested in coming into my reading in a group setting through Zoom, that's going to be July 3rd at 7 p.m. It's $30. We're going to do readings, whatever comes through. And then, of course, release things that are coming up with the full moon and work on a lot of future, because that's what I'm feeling like people need. So I affirm that I am willing to release the causes and patterns in my consciousness that are creating any negative conditions in my life. So what comes through here right away before we even go into the records, I'm getting that a lot of things that are coming up for a lot of people lately is how I don't like want to say that we've been brainwashed. There are a lot of people who have been controlled to think in a certain way. in society, which is no longer serving us and it's not healthy anymore. So we're supposed to improve on our groupthink in terms of getting together with other people who can help you think more rationally and to get more clarity. So if everybody else is feeling the same way that you're feeling, then that can be helpful in terms of like, say you have like 75 people or even 7,500 people that all share the same opinion, and it's all a little bit different than maybe the social norm, then it might make you feel like you're on the right track to success because other people feel that same way. So it's important that you're getting on track with, again, how other people are thinking. I don't know why that's coming up. Maybe you relate to that. I release all blame and turn within to seek the truth. Okay. I release all blame. That's been coming up a lot with the heart chakra. I'm also getting a really strong pull in my back with the seek the truth because it feels like you might feel nervous to open up spiritually. You might be feeling nervous to speak up, maybe even in here, that sort of thing. And so I'm focusing on right now the root chakra. So that's more as we're talking about physical health, to get comfortable in your body a bit more. Maybe you struggle with body image, whatever it is for you, but we tend to judge ourselves naturally. So the last thing that we need is to judge ourselves when we feel that way in society as well. Okay. So I am always safe. I am eternal. I will go on forever from experience to experience. Lifetime after lifetime, I am a shining spirit, a beautiful light. Okay. So this has been coming up a lot for people lately in terms of how we're looking at ourselves, seeing ourselves in a positive light. Let me know if you do affirmations already. What do you do for self-care? What do you do for self-image? How do you raise your vibration? That sort of thing. So this is just a talk, as I was saying, to get into that mindfulness practice. The work I do on myself is not a goal. It is a process, a lifetime process. I choose to enjoy the process. I accept all of myself. So self-love and acceptance. That was kind of coming up a little bit at the beginning. Oh, I just feel like taking a deep breath. For some reason, I feel like there is someone who might be watching who has a lot of stuck energy in their chest. And so that's your heart chakra, that's your shoulders, that would be your throat, your third eye, that sort of thing. And I'm seeing food in a bathtub here as well. So it might be a great time to treat yourself extra special with this full moon, that sort of thing. So asking yourself, do you have a reward system? Lovely to see and hear from you. You too. You've been on my mind, actually. I was just going back to some of my banking and that sort of thing, and your name kept popping up from our classes that we did together. So and I've been called into tapping lately. I'm teaching an intuitive class on July 5th at 8 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So it's a little bit later for people in different time zones. It's if you're really deep into a different time zone, it might not be ideal if you have regular hours, but that's gonna be like learning to tap in a really deep on a really deep level into your unconscious self and kind of start pulling out like your gifts, even some shadow work, some deeper things that are coming up for you in terms of maybe things that you could start tweaking with some of your own healing practices. But I'm hearing the word rejuvenation. Okay, so yeah, tapping, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I feel like tapping can be really helpful as a tool, because I'm going to be teaching energy work on the 12th as well. So these are only 55 Canadian, great opportunity to go deeper into your specific things. So I am precious and I cherish who I am. So a big thing here, these are affirmation cards. So reminding yourself that love is all around you. Maybe it's drawing white light in as a little practice on a daily basis to remind yourself that love is surrounding you. And now I felt like saying throw up, but cough all at the same time. Excuse me. I have had a little cold, but I am feeling like there are people who are like really scared to release things that they like to control, little habits that they have, and it feels really deep rooted. So just being aware of that. All right, something's going on with this candle too. It feels really powerful. So It feels like that's related to love life. So, those are our cards. I accept all of myself is probably the strongest one that's coming up. Is just allowing yourself to be yourself. That can be really challenging at times. So let's go into the Akashic record, see what comes up for our physical. I would like to do body, mind, and spirit. So the body is our physical. Dropping into our heart space now, relaxing the body, maybe opening up the palms. All right, so sexual stuff is coming up right away with the body, as we're just talking about, love life, things like that, how we're treating ourselves, especially working on our probably feminine energy with a full moon. What I'm getting is self love is something that we can't control. It's something that we have to feel emotionally. So, although I'm talking about the physical body, you're seeing how our intimate relationship with ourselves and with others is actually the emotions are coming up right away. So body, mind, spirit, but emotions right away come up with that. So what I get here is to keep yourself as stimulated as you can, and whatever's possible for you right now. So if you're not if you're not in an intimate relationship, it still feels like you can find ways to enjoy yourself spiritually. So now you're seeing the word spiritually coming up. So reminding yourself that the community can also help you more, um, as a whole as well. So don't forget that we have people outside of our own personal lives and to take advantage of that. So no coincidence tonight, I have a busy life and I'm like, I'm supposed to come on and talk about this stuff specifically tonight underneath my YouTube. So I'm just using that as a way to, I guess, correlate how we can emotionally start connecting in with other people in our communities, outside of ourselves, to help us heal vibrationally in our heart as well. And physically, that will also take us to new places. So let's see what we need in relation to spirituality, because that one seems to be coming up. Let me know, does this connect to you at all? Okay, so I'm getting also where we're talking about groupthink, brainstorming with other people is also really important on a spiritual level. Uh, like right now anyway, because the reason for this is because it feels like there are a lot of other people that are like you that do a lot of the same things as you do, but you might not always feel that way. And instead of looking at other people as a competition, especially in the business world, I'm getting to open up to the love that surrounds you, see people as people, in the sense that like nobody is any better than anybody else. So like when we start to get into our ego or into our headspace, that's the mental, in the sense that we're starting to let negative emotions get to us. What we have to do is find tools and ways and techniques to move through these emotions on a spiritual level. So that means something like, as we were talking about EFT, right? That's a great one. Tapping. Also, like stress relief techniques, stress release techniques can be really helpful in terms of like, yes, breathing, but maybe it's going outside and going for that jog, or dancing, or joining in the community to start like some type of lesson, or maybe it's a meditation class, something like that. In August, I do plan on doing more things outside of the home, which is great. But it's also filling up your heart a bit more with things that you love to do emotionally, because that will also take you to places with other people, again, who maybe relationship wise you're supposed to connect to for a love partnership, or also it could just be like for partnerships that you need in your life. So you're kind of seeing how all the dots are connecting. So let's go into the emotions here, because that feels like the strongest one. So right away, what I get into is our thought process with the emotion. So if you are judging a lot emotionally, that will definitely drain your spirit. So what are some things that we can do to think in ways that are more supportive for us. I'm getting that, like, it's okay to be a feeler, first of all, as we were talking about accepting yourself if you are a person who feels a lot. And also, if you're doing a lot, if you're going through a lot, it's also important to rest a bit more. So, if you are going through some shadow work at this time, meaning you're like seeing some things within yourself that you don't like or things in your life that you don't want, this is a perfect time to set positive intentions or do some manifestation work. So maybe you could do a meditation every single day over the next 5 or 7 weeks, maybe for 4 to 9 minutes, something like that, just to kind of cleanse your energy. That's been a theme with everybody recently. Perhaps you could introduce like some spiritual practices to other people that you really enjoy being around so that they can also come on board with you, so they can kind of be happy and dance around with you in ways that you're already doing spiritually and emotionally. Perhaps if you're a healer like myself, you might find that taking more classes or more courses could be helpful for you. So you can start to come up with practices that are suiting you even deeper spiritually, so that you can always make sure that you're in tune with the coaching that you want to be coaching, or also releasing and detoxing yourself from people or things that aren't working for you as well. Okay, this is what's coming up. So, what do we need to know as a whole here? Okay, I just keep getting the word judgment. So, what's really coming up here is we know that body, mind, and spirit is all about love, don't we? Right? It's bringing everything together to create love, no matter what that looks like. But the opposite of love is judgment. So, are you guys catching yourself judging a lot, or is that something you work on or struggle with on a daily basis? So, for myself, I'll just use myself as an example. The top card here says, I am free and at peace. And if you'd like a message while you're hopping on, just let me know. I am free and at peace. For some reason, my throat chakra is just like. So when I get the word peace here, I get a lot of tension in my neck. So we were talking about control, people who want to control things. And if we want to go with the flow in our lives, like bring this all together, come into a place of love, let go of grief, working on forgiveness, trusting more, feeling more freedom, that sort of thing, I get that we've got to put things to rest. So not only do our physical bodies need rest, but we also have to put things to rest that we feel like aren't serving us anymore. That's one aspect. So, from the emotional side of things, if you keep thinking about stuff from the past, getting healing sessions are great. But it also might be like I'm doing mediumship readings right now for $35 for 35 minutes as some practice sessions. Sometimes when we lose people that we love, or even if we didn't love those people, they can still be around us, and get some like closure on I don't know, whatever you have coming up. But it could be like a relationship where somebody died and you didn't feel happy, and then you kind of wish you had more time with them, something like that. That feels important. I'm also connecting to a police officer for some reason. Um, so that was the first time, I think, when I moved to Moncton in New Brunswick, the first time I actually had like a spirit come through and speak so clearly to me. I was driving my car and this police officer came through to talk to me, and saying that I'm supposed to help people in Moncton, and like that police officer is going to help me if I'm helping people that he is sending directly to me. And oddly enough, I'm like, okay, whatever, this is weird. We go through experiences, but sure enough, I moved to the Moncton area, and then there were shootings in relation to police officers in the area. And the next thing I know, one of the women that was shot in the shootings, like shows up at my house. And then she shows up at a wellness fair. And then someone else that was like a part of the shootings, they like saw the guy that shot everybody, ends up in my office, like on on a street in my house, right? And just like so many connections. So I don't know why it's important to talk about that, but I think it's more about um, like identifying with our fears as well that we might have around connecting all of these dots and starting to understand these things. So it's kind of getting deep, but I just want to share that about the um, like everybody has a different personality, everybody has a different path, but just starting to, I guess, connect how like our intuition is so, so important in guiding us to make ourselves feel better, healthier physically, emotionally, and then, of course, mentally. So we need to tap into that intuition, which is why I have my intuitive class coming up on the 5th. So if you want to develop those skills, it's so, so important, guys. I can't emphasize enough on how important it is to be able to recognize the ego versus the heart, okay? Because it can save you in many circumstances if you are in situations where you need to survive. It's also great in terms of like business. If you're worried about finances, it can really guide you in positive directions if you're working on bringing in more prosperity. And then the energy work portion of things, I feel like can just help you with the changes that you're going through if you are right now ascending. And I know I'm using words if you don't understand these. Essentially, it's just like moving through things and growing through these things. It can also create like detox side effects, meaning like you might get fatigued, you might feel drained. So sometimes we want to logically think, "Oh, I'm not cord cutting enough. I'm absorbing other people's energies." When it actually might be you're doing a great job cord cutting, and you're actually just moving through some really powerful energy right now because you're upgrading and up leveling. Okay, so just some food for thought. If nobody wants a message, I just wanted to come on for some reason and talk about these things. Maybe it's just to help people identify with where they are emotionally, how to shift over vibrationally as well. There's so many different topics we could talk about, but because people aren't asking questions and that sort of thing, I feel like we got what we needed. If you need any intuitive counseling, I can absolutely help you with that. Otherwise, join my intuitive class. I'd love to help you out in that. The replay is going to be through my VIP membership. That's also 55 a month. So you can join us there. We've got so many videos and so many uploads coming in. You can also email me if you want support with something specific. I know that I would like that to have something along the lines of this for myself. So that's why I've created it. So I have that emotional support system whenever I need it. And then I get to watch those things at my own time. So if I'm not having a good day, I don't have to show up for things. Thank you for all the wisdom. You're welcome. Thanks so much for showing up. So, yes, nobody wants a message. That's okay. We got what we needed. I've been doing some Reiki healing through TikTok. I'm definitely feeling inspired to do more tapping, so I'll probably be incorporating that more on my energy work class. If you want to join again, book through Robin's Healing or oh my god, horsemanreadings.com. I can't believe I said that. See, there's something weird going on right now. I'm seeing more people hopping on. But it's like I'm going to speak and I can't speak properly. So you might also be struggling with the throat and the heart right now, and that's completely normal. So, yeah, I'm just going to shut up now and click my link tree. All my stuff is in there. I'm doing a like and share contest through Facebook. I'm doing my full moon reading for $30 in a group setting Monday night. It feels like people really need that, so that's why I'm offering it. It's not something I typically do, but I'm going to be offering that Monday night. So lots of good stuff coming up. We'll talk to you later, and bye for now.